Hello, nice to meet you.
Baik, Chris, thank you. You're still familiar with Indonesia.
We shot that for 78 days.
We started to develop the design of the war rig.
We'd be looking at each other and joking, and then it's just like...
Okay, hi Anya, Chris, George. My name is Nandra. I represent Cinema 21, the largest cinema chain in Indonesia. Nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Baik, Chris, thank you. You're still familiar with Indonesia.
Terima kasih.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, I would like to say congratulations for the movie. I watched the movie yesterday and asked the men to say it was very epic. So my first question is, what was your initial reaction when you guys found out that you've been casted in the Mad Max universe?
I think for both of us, it was a bit of a dream come true. I mean, Chris, you as an Australian.
Yeah, for sure. As an Australian and having grown up on this film, loving what George Miller had done for many years, watching Fury Road, when I saw that film, it was like, wow, I need to be involved in the next piece of this puzzle. And yeah, it was a dream come true. It was a pretty incredible experience.
Okay, so Furiosa being a prequel, what's the most exciting aspect of exploring Furiosa's backstory that fans might not expect?
Fury Road happens over 3 days and 2 nights. This story is about the 18 years before that, when she's taken as a child at 10, all the way through until she's 28 and becomes the Furiosa we meet at the beginning of Fury Road. Two stories butt directly one into the other. We were able to tell the story in a way basically goes across that wide expanse of time. We meet a lot more characters, we understand how the world works much more clearly. So what we experienced in passing in Fury Road is much more developed in this story.
Whatever you have to do, however long it takes, promise you'll find your way home. Protect the green place.
Okay, so Anya, the Mad Max films are known for the intense action scenes. There's a lot of action sequences. What is the most physically demanding for you in the whole movie?
Oh my goodness. Definitely a sequence called, at the time, Stowaway to Nowhere. Now it's just called the Stowaway. We shot that for 78 days. It was about 200 stuntmen every single day, and it was wild to do. I saw it for the first time yesterday, and it just felt like such a relief. It felt really good to see the finished product.
It's one of my favorite scenes too with Warwick, right?
Yeah.
So good.
Thank you, love. Thank you, love.
The Mad Max films are very known for practical effects and stunts, and my favorite is the Warwick scene. Can you share any filming process of the scene?
It was a very elaborate scene to make. Normally we storyboard these sequences, but in this case we used a tool that was developed by the stunt coordinator and second unit director, Guy Norris, someone with whom I've been working with for many years. And it's kind of a pre-visualization or previs tool, which he calls Proxy, based on the Unreal Engine. Basically create a three-dimensional version of the scene with great precision. So as we were working on the scene, we started to develop the design of the war rig and what it needed. For instance, the top, bottom, the arms, the hydraulic arms, and the so-called bombing knocker at the back. And then we were able to fold in not only all the flying flyers or mortifiers as we call them, the guys on the parachutes or the parasails or the hang gliders, but we're also able to put the cameras in, the lenses, the cameras, and exactly how they moved shot to shot and how each shot led to the next, and the whole sequence was built that way, which was a very, very accurate and precise tool to go into the shoot, so that we could do everything knowing exactly what we needed, when we did it with real vehicles and real parachutists and all that sort of stuff. It was a much more efficient way of doing it, and of course, much safer way to do it.
To be fair, the scene is very cool. I really like it. Okay, so Anya, the Furiosa stare is very iconic for me. Could you share how you develop the stare? And maybe share a tutorial how to do it? Because I tried it and it doesn't look good on me. Like, it's not.
Yes, looks great. No, you know what it is I had a really interesting conversation with George very early on where he told me that because of the way that the wasteland is, it was very important to him that Furiosa only have her eyes, that everything else just didn't really move or show emotion because that would be a sign of weakness.
You need a highly intelligent, resolute quality to become Furiosa.
And as an actor, that was slightly terrifying, but I do think you kind of get a bit of that glimmer because that's the only thing that she has to be able to communicate how she's feeling. She's just trying to survive. So I think it's like intense hatred and intense survival instincts.
Directed at
Yeah. We'd be looking at each other and joking, and then it's just like...
Okay, so Chris, the Mentos is a very complex character, right? I love how in certain scenes, the Mentos said something terrifying, but also kind of funny. So I don't know, am I supposed to get feared or supposed to laugh?
If you find him, he's mine.
Can you share any insight of your process finding this character?
To keep you on your toes, that's right. Yeah, I think the script had a quirkiness to it. The character was very unhinged and a little unpredictable, and I kind of lent into that where I could. You know, other sort of villainous characters I've seen on screen, I've always appreciated little moments of humor because there's a sort of lulling of, or a false sense of security that gives an audience, and then when you do something sort of violent or vicious, it's a lot more surprising, I think, and it catches people unaware. It was also a way I think the character needed some charisma in order to amass a certain amount of followers and have people want to be around him. And so I think he used that to his advantage to both manipulate but also to draw people in.
Okay, so the character Dementis played by Chris Hemsworth is a very formidable and very unique character, right? What qualities did Chris bring to the role that surprised you or even impressed you?
Well, both surprised and impressed. I knew Chris's work. I met him. I really saw that he was someone who has many dimensions. Surprisingly wise for his age about everything, about life itself, how he approaches life and his work, and what he understands about the kind of character, extreme character that he plays. And he read the screenplay and responded well to it. What I didn't expect is that he would bring so much to it. He immersed himself into the character. He prepared very well. He's very rigorous in his approach to the work, very disciplined, always on set, hardly spent any time in the trailer once he was in makeup, understood what it was to work with other actors and crew and so on. As the film went on, he was doing more and more interesting stuff. You know, he's one of those actors when you end up in the cutting room, it's not finding the best take. It's the dilemma is how not to use. You've got so many good takes that you can't decide which ones you wanted to eliminate.
Okay, so among the plethora of vehicles featured in the movie, which one would you love to have parked in your garage? Mine would be the Mentis bike chariot thing.
He's got it.
Great.
He's actually got it.
Not the chariot version, but the original bike, which was it's really good in a straight line. It's not so good to turn. But it looks awesome. It actually has like a radial engine from an airplane, which is the engine within the bike now. Pretty special.
Yeah, I think I'd like to have the double tanker. I would love to have the war rig. I don't want it parked in my garage though. I want it in my lawn, like an art piece, but also a jungle gym. I'd like to just be able to like climb all over it and like hang out with my friends in there.
I'd come.
Yeah. Honestly, like I can close my eyes and picture that rig perfectly, like every single inch of it.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Chris and Anya. Do you have anything to say to Furiosa fan in Indonesia?
Just that we hope they have the best time, and thank you so much for going to see it. Hopefully on the biggest screen possible. It is such an epic, and visually it's so impressive that's how you should see it.
Incredibly excited and thankful for the love and support in Indonesia, and can't wait for people to see the film.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Asik kan videonya? Jangan lupa like, subscribe, dan komen ya. Sampai bertemu di video selanjutnya.